And yes, we made it. What a great video, as you have seen in our opening. I would like to thank you, all of you who's watching this live webinar for our upcoming topic, which is the power of filters in Adobe Photoshop. And yeah, we made it. I hope everyone is safe and you are all in good situations right now, especially as we have been in this series of rains. We're praying that each and every day it will be better in terms of our situation, like the weather, the rains, and hope you're all safe. So, without further ado, I'm going to proceed with our session, which is again the power of filters in Adobe Photoshop. Feel free if you are watching from any location. Feel free to comment down below on our chat box for us to acknowledge you, to feel your presence, and to be thankful of your time to being here in this session. We highly appreciate your time. This is in partnership with our friends from Likhana dito, Dane Design Lab, Dane Design Lab, Dane Design Learning Hub, sorry. Get Gemaribo Albos, and in partnership with the Multimedia Arts Association of the Philippines, or MAAP. Um, so let's start. I'm going to switch from my presentation so you could see how we will progress. My name is Roland Banyas. I'm the training director, co-founder of Creative Nation Academy. And if anyone is watching this from international, let's say if you're not speaking in English, feel free to tell me so, or to chat it, put it down in our chat. So I will be aware that I would be speaking in a common language that we both could understand. Pero kung puro Pilipino lang tayo, let's do with the normal way of conversation. And I would try to be very conversational, and also to be like a friend or a teaching coach for all of you who wants to learn uh, this type of topic. This is very close to my heart because effects or filters has been like a time travel to me. I've been working with Photoshop since the early 2000s professionally. And each time that I'm using a filter or an effect, even a layer style, has bring me a lot of memories from the past and even to the future. So this is also a tribute to that kind of um, theme that we're trying to do right now. We're going to go from the past and also in the future, because we're trying to discuss a lot of topics that would enable us to empower ourselves with using Photoshop. Ayan. Okay. I've been doing a lot of sessions. Thank you, Noreen Abias, for being a new member on this channel. Maraming salamat po for being here, and I appreciate your time. I've been doing a lot of sessions throughout the university since 2015, and currently I've been celebrating the 10th year of doing these types of workshops or this roadshow to our fellow educators. If you're interested on knowing some of our content via TikTok, here's my page on TikTok. I do a lot of tutorials, short tips. You can check it out at your free time. And if you're watching this on our page, and if you're new, again, a new member for this campaign that we're running every month, we appreciate you subscribing and sharing this to your colleagues, your fellow educators, your fellow students, and fellow creatives. We appreciate your time. I recently wrote a book regarding the usage of Creative Cloud, or even Adobe Firefly. As you would see, the title is Extending Creativity with Adobe Firefly. And for our agenda in this session, or I'm just going to focus on three things, which is what are filters in Photoshop. I'm going to provide you live demonstrations and even advanced tips that you won't see quite on the internet. And also, I'm more than welcome to answer or to discuss some of the questions that you have on our comments box. So if you have a question, feel free to do so and put it on our comment box because I highly appreciate. I love seeing questions, even hard questions that would make me think and would evaluate some of the learnings that I have right now. So thank you for. I'm looking forward to your questions. Okay, so who is this session for? This is for everyone who wants to learn filters and Photoshop and how to use it properly. I may not be the best resource speaker for this because there are a lot of what we call Photoshop masters throughout the years, and I also adore them. Some of them are my friends, and I think it's quite a homage. It's quite a tribute to them that I'm doing a lot of sessions that will also be a contributing element for these types of movements. Thank you, Noreen, for your support, and I'm also excited to have you here in the channel. Thank you very much. So this is for educators, students, creatives, and artists that wants to tap in the power of filters. So with a show of hands, or even if you want to comment on our chat box, I want to ask this question. How often do you use filters or effects in Photoshop? I, in my case, I always use filters, like the non-destructive ones, the non-destructive ones, because using the non-destructive types of filters will enable you to create a flexible workflow within your editing a project that you have. So, can you recall some of the effects that you love in Photoshop way back in the 90s or way back in the 2000s? I love the glass type effects that Photoshop has. But now it's being replaced by newer ones because of the trends. So, what types of filters or how often you use filters as needed? Okay. Thank you for your comments. So I know there's a little bit of delay on my end or on your end, but it's okay. What are filters? So let's define what types of filters or what how do we know it is a filter? It's a type of digital effect that changes the look of an image. For example, if you're going to turn it into a black and white, you're going to have like a cross hatch. If you're going to have like watercolor effects, that would be types that would be considered as filters. They can be used to retouch photos. So if you have a specific need, you can also add special effects or create unique transformations, such as something like a liquify that will also give you this types of effect. Okay, so after we have defined what types of filters, let's what is a filter? Let's define the types of filters that we can use. We have two types, which is destructive and non-destructive. So I'm going to also provide you the actual types of filters that is destructive and also the non-destructive ones, because knowing these types of filters will enable you to decide how can you create your projects that would be offering you the best flexibility, because while destructive editing can offer you speed and efficiency, non-destructive editing enables you or provides you flexibility and preserves your original files, especially if you're using smart filters. Okay, so as defined, destructive filters would be a permanent one that changes an image and alters its pixels, while non-destructives are or non-destructive is without altering or uh, making changes to an original image. Way back before, if you are not into this non-destructive workflow, we often use what we call the copy workflow, In Photoshop, you have to create a copy of the image file by using the keyboard shortcuts such as Command J, Control J, to duplicate the layer itself so you have like a secondary copy of the image that you want to preserve. Right now, that has been that has been a workflow for old time users of Photoshop. But if you new to Photoshop, or you just use Photoshop way back in the Creative Cloud days, yeah, I can offer. What a great question, Rain. I will be sending on the chat the email address for you to get your online certificates after this. So feel free to email me later on. So to answer your question, yes, you can get your online certificates after this session. I'm going to plug in my email address so you could request for that. Okay. So how can we enable what we call the filter gallery groups? I'm going to switch to Photoshop so you could see that there is a switch inside of Photoshop that enables you to access a specific grouping of filters. And I will give you some history behind that. Okay. So let's go to Photoshop. And as you would see, I have loaded this image. I'm just going to remove my slides here and go back here. So in Photoshop, I can access the gallery names. We're just talking right now into the destructive filters, the old school ones, the old ones. If you go to Photoshop and you go to your preferences, if you go to settings and then you go to preferences, right now I think I'm still not into. Let's go back here. So you would go to preferences and then go to plugins. And you would see there is a checkbox here that enables you to show all the filter gallery groups and names. Why is it important? Because it's important because it enables you to categorize all of the filters inside the Photoshop, unlike the new implementation that it doesn't show you the gallery filter group names. It's a much more structured way of seeing the filter gallery. So number one, we're going to explore the non-destructive types, which is the filter gallery. Let's just check if you could see some of my menu commands. So here in Photoshop, I have this beautiful image, and let's see, you can easily use the filter. Okay, I might switch to another one. Give me a second on this, because as of the moment you cannot see the menus inside of Photoshop because I'm sharing only the window and not the whole application or the whole desktop screen. So wait a second, I'm going to re-share my screen. So if you have questions, feel free to do so. I'm just going to remove this and share my screen for all of you to see. Share screen. And I'm going to share my entire screen. Okay. So, okay. So I hope you could see all of my controls right now. If you want to access all of the legacy types of filters, you can go to filter, and you will see that there is an option called gallery or the filter gallery. Let's click on that. And this is all a big window that will open on its own. And it's called the filter gallery window. So when using all of this, it will enable you to destructively create filters on the specific layer that you have chosen. I'm just going to change my layout here so you could see me while I'm talking. So right now there are a lot of them. We have the following. You can use some of them as categorized with artistic blends. Most commonly, they're using what we call, for example, if you're using like sponge type, you can easily do so. Way back in the day, we often create copies of this and then use the filter, and then we use the blending modes for us to create a much more unique types of style. And let's try to do that right now. I'm going to create a copy of this by pressing Command J, Control J. After that, this one is the preserved layer. Let's go back here. Let's go to filter, and then let's go to filter gallery, on which you can explore a lot of them. Let's create on. Let's say I want to create a watercolor effect, and I have something like this. There's a lot of settings that you can play with, or you can use what we call the presets inside of each effect or a filter. You would see there's a lot of them here that you can play and experiment. For example, I can use what we call the sumie. That makes me remind of some of the filters here. You can even use, and there's a lots and lots of. I can easily zoom in so you can see the effect. This one, the texturizer, enables me to create like a canvas type of effect on my photos, and you can easily like go and use the scaling option for you to adjust these types of effect. I can even invert it as needed. I can use some of the presets here. For example, I want the orientation for this to be like the light source, or I can use the bottom left if needed. So that enables me to create filters or create an effect within an image that I can apply. And as you may notice, or if you're not into this much more often, you can easily add more layers within this filter gallery. If I click on plus here, that will enable me to intensify or bundle them. For example, if there's also a layer order on which you can easily add them. Let's click on the first one, which is the topmost. I'm going to add other types of effect. Let's or presets, filters. Let's click on the accent edges. What I can do right now is use like a film grain to it and make the grain more smaller, or even like create a highlight area. Let's make the intensity much more subtle. So as you would see, let's make this something like that. And you can easily click OK. So after I did that, this will enable me to just zoom in, and you would see that this is already taken in effect with my design right now. See, that's how filters work. And with using the filters, this is destructive, and you can easily enable, disable it, or you can play along with creating or disabling one. For example, I'm going to check on some of more of the filter gallery. Let's click on plus again. So I created a new layer, which is the default one. Let's go back to filter and go to this one is not enabled. That's why it doesn't work. So let's go back here, go to filter, and then let's go to filter gallery. And you would see that it remembers the last or the previous filters that I have implemented. What I can do right now is just clear it. Let's click on delete and delete it again, or choose another one, which is some of the favorites that I have would be like a patchwork. You can easily create like a patchwork type here. I can make the square size much more smaller, create something like this, or even the relief that will enable me to adjust the weights of this effect. And again, lots and lots of presets within the effect itself that you can use. Let's try to use glass in this example. It's something like creating some glass type here. And you would see that if I switch on this, it will enable me to switch from one filter to another by just tapping in to the specific effect that is already here. Let's say texturizer, or Yeah, I already did that. But let's try something like a watercolor. That's one of my favorites here. You can easily create like custom one, like textures, or what you can do is after this, creating that effect, you can enable all of them and then make your adjustments with the blending modes, as you would see here. For example, I can use screen, and let's make this like tad like 20%, just for the effect of having what we call some of the stains here. I can easily like move this downwards, or change some of them. Let's just undo some of them, and let's leave it at this. Okay, so that's how you use the legacy filters, which is, again, if you go to filter and you go to the filter gallery, and it offers you a lot of filters in the process. Okay, so that's the past. That's how you use filters before, and you can easily apply these types of, let's say, effects by also using the layers. If you double click here, you can also use the layer styles if needed, for if you want to create much more types of styles, you can easily do so. But that's a little bit off the track that we are trying to point out in this session. So this one is the filter gallery, and then the next one would be using what we call the smart filters. Okay, so how can you use smart filters here? I have another image here on which I can use what we call smart filters. I can easily convert this as a smart object for us to enable the usage of smart filters. What we can do here is, if I click on the adjustment filter, I can easily use or tap in some of the, let's say, let's use the photo filter here. And by doing so, it enables me to adjust a specific type of filter that is non-destructive. As you would see here, it doesn't alter the actual pixels behind these artworks, and you can easily stack them up. Let's click on here, add a new like adjustment layer. Let's click on here. Let's add like curves. You can easily do so, or you can easily use what we call, for example, if we go here to image adjustments, again, this is already also a destructive type of effect if you're using the adjustments. Okay, so you can also use that. You can use adjustment layers by stacking them up, although there are not so many. But these types of smart filters enables you to have the flexibility of adjusting your images much more intelligently, or much more flexible in the long run. Okay, so that's adjustment layers. And the next one would be, what's your favorite? Okay, what's your favorite type of adjustment layer? Mine is levels and curves, and even photo filter, as you would see here, because it enables me to create lots and lots of. It's a much more simpler type of effect. So as you would see here, let's say if you want, you can add like a gradient map if you needed, and let's click on here. Let's say if you want this to convert it into like purples, let's easily click on that, and we can easily use the smooth one here, or the stripes. There's a new one, there's stripes, or you can use leader, or you can use the blending option if you want, and you can easily use these types of treatment within, which is non-destructive, just in case, offers you a lot of flexibility. Let's add one, which is the levels. So I want this to be a little bit more pop, to bring it more I can easily use this and punch relax. So make it easier here. So everything that we have put here is fully adjustable because you can enable yourself to use these types of adjustment layers. Okay, so that's one. And another one would be kindly a new one. If you recall, let's go back here to our first example and let's zoom in. And what I would encourage you to use right now is what we call the neural filters. Okay, so to provide you an example of that, let's go to filter and let's go to the background itself. Let's delete this and select this one. You can use what we call neural filters. If you go to filter and then you click on neural filters, this is kind of new. During the pandemic, this one was the newest type of filters that enables you to have like a much more AI assisted guided types of technology. As you would see here, it automatically detects the face on itself. Let's just zoom in so you appreciate much more of this. So this one, I can easily use some of the neural filters, the new ones, as you would see here. I can easily like create skin smoothing, smart portrait. If I enable this, just to give you a an insight, you need to download these types of filters before you use it. It will require you to download the actual filter itself. For example, this one, like the creative backdrop, I can easily use the this button, which is you must this filter must be downloaded first. So what happens is that it will enable Photoshop to download the actual filter itself, unlike before. Okay, unlike before that each and every filter is not it's built in within Photoshop. So right now you can easily like use this. In my example, I can use this types of smart portrait. I can use AI or the immediate type of AI, which is I can dial in some of the features of this image. I can dial in happiness, facial age, hair thickness, and some of its properties such as surprise, anger, even global settings such as head direction. If I want, I can easily tilt it by using these types of. Okay, so you can use that one. This is smart portrait. If you have portraits that need some retouching, you can easily use what we call skin smoothing. While we're here, I'm going to cancel this one out because I have a much more better example for you to use. I'm just going to open that file. Let's say, give me a second on this. I'm trying to find the specific like type of image that would be better for this. Let's say this one. Let's try to open this in Photoshop. So a much more cleaner look. For example, I can easily use this photo. Let's use neural filters for here. And you can easily use some of the skin smoothing here. Let's click on that. And as you would see, it has like a big effect on it. Let's click on this to preview the changes before and after. You would see there's a little bit of subtle type of skin smoothing. You can easily use the blur uh, sliders here for us to add more of the effect as needed. That's one thing that you can do using skin smoothing. You can easily use what we call makeup transfer. So if you want, you can easily, as the photo itself implies, you can easily add an image. Let's try to do this. For example, here I will be adding a reference image of someone who has a makeup. I'm just searching through my thousands and thousands of photos for us to check like something like this one. I can easily drag and drop it here. Let's try to check if this would work on my end. This one is selected face. So I'm just going to enable this. So I'm going to drag this photo of someone who has a makeup, something like this one. I'm just going to drag it up here. Oh, it doesn't work, but it doesn't work with the dragging. So I'm just going to import it this way. Example, let's click on this one. I got this photos from Pexels, and then you could see that you would see that this would enable me to apply makeup on or use another image. For example, you can easily add those images and apply the makeup transfer. It's kind of fun, but do not use this. This is just for demonstration purposes, as you would see here. Let's disable that. Let's go to creative backdrop, which is the backdrop creator. I could easily like type in any like gold and black painting swirling. Let's click on create. And this will enable you to create a backdrop of your for your compositions. For example, this one. This one is still in beta. This is just new to me also. You can also use other creative types of filters, which is available here. I still don't know. I think this one doesn't require you to have generative credits because this one is still on beta. Okay, so let's just wait for a little bit because it's internet dependent. So it depends on the speed of your connection. And as we all know, the weather is not being great lately, so our internet connection is a little bit slow. But I think you get the idea. This will enable me to create a backdrop within the model, and you can also, yeah, it didn't, it didn't because it encountered an error. Let's skip and try this another one, which is a landscape type of landscape mixer. So what we can do right now is to use these types of presets and apply it into our photo. But as of the moment, this is a portrait and not a landscape. So let's use other things like style transfer. I can easily use these types of things. Let's click on the artistic style, and it will process on the background. Uh, and if it's not working on my cloud, if it's not accessible, this will enable me to use the device computing power itself. As you would see here, it's using the artistic style based from the photo that I have selected. For example, this one, I can easily use a Van Gogh style Van Gogh style, as you would see here, or I can use I'm not sure if this is Monet, but you get the idea. You can easily add more of the following image styles or artist styles here. So let's go to image styles. There's a lot of them that you can easily use or even download for your own creative explorations by using these types of filters. Okay, so that is transfer style. And you can easily use what we call harmonization if you want to combine certain photos into one type of seamless composite. So that's one thing that you can definitely explore, harmonization. Color transfer, let's try this one. I'm going to use other photos for this. Let's say, because now we're not focusing right now on the, let's close this one. And I'm going to open another one for all of you. Let's say this one. I'm not going to save this. Let's go back to filter and let's go back to neural filters. Nakapag-try na ba kayo ng neural filters? Have you all tried or has experimented with neural filters before? Feel free to comment into our comment section if you have tried it or not yet. I'm looking forward to let you to see most of you who's using already this. Okay, so let's go to color transfer. Let's click on that. You can easily like use these types of color transfer. Let's click on this. Okay, and as you would see, I created this image using Firefly boards that I demonstrated on the recently concluded Graphic Expo 2025. So we explored a lot of this types of creation process. So let's just wait for a little bit. I'm looking right now on a photo that will enable me to colorize something. Well, yeah, it takes a little bit of time right now, but I think we're going to get there. Let's say I have an old school photo here, probably this one. I can easily use this later on. Processing on device, which takes a little bit more time. Okay, so I would like to cancel this for now because it takes a lot of time. And let's try this. I'm going to open this photo for you to explore the colorization type of neural filter. Let's open this one and let's go to, and I'm just going to correct the perspective on this. So let's go back here. Let's go to perspective crop tool. And then I'm just going to make this photo facing much more perspective. Let's click on that and let's click on OK. Okay. So it will match what we're trying to do right now. So what I can do is go to filter and go to neural filters. And then I'm going to use what we call the colorize neural filter. Let's click on that. Excuse me. This enabled me to automatically colorize a like a sepia tone type of color, and you can easily adjust them to your heart's content by using what we call the manual image. You can easily, like, if the reds doesn't like match the actual reds, or you can easily do so by using this type of controls. For example, if I click on the lips, I could use the color picker here to like make it a little bit subtle. So for example, let's make that. I could dial down the strength of this. Let's say I'm not too red on this part, so you can easily use this to adjust the focal points on which probably there's an overspill of color here. So you can easily use that. If I click on remove, that will enable me to reduce some of the skin tone because as you would see before, it has been reduced due to that manual color image adjustment. So I can dial in the resolution here, or even the color artifact resolution. You can easily do so. Let's output this to a new layer so we can compare it from this for a little bit. So I can click on OK, and on this there would be a new layer, and this one is the before, and this one is the after. Saves you a lot of time, right? Okay, thank you, Noreen, for sharing your comment. Not yet. I hope you could try this. Maybe you have some projects, some activities that you would like to use these types of filters. That will enable you to save a lot more time in the process. Okay, so roughly, I'm using these types of filters if I have like photo restorations. There's another one like this. Forgot where's that photo. Bear in mind that I'm using a lot of photos, like thousands of them. That's why I cannot easily recall most of them here. But I think you get the idea. There is a photo that I'm trying to find that will enable you to restore. Where's that photo? Forgot. Like even scratches and dust, you can easily like restore this. For example, let's say I'm just going to undo this. Let's go back to filter and go to background here. Let's go back to filter. Let's go to neural filters. I'm seeing the parametric filter, which is going to discuss later on. There is what we call the photo restoration here. So if you have photos that have lots and lots of scratches and like cracks, it will enable you to enhance also the details. So let's try this here. Let's click on the photo restoration neural filter. And Let's wait on it. Another thing that's I'm very that I love inside of neural filters would be this super zoom. So super zoom enables you to enlarge a photo and add more details, even if there's a loss in resolution. So that's one thing that you can use super zoom. And if you're into photography, I would highly recommend this neural filter called deep depth blur. So let's try to check this out first. So it's still processing on my device. Probably my device is a little bit old right now. I'm using a 2020 M1 Apple Silicon. So it comes with its age, like 5 years ago or 4 years ago. Okay, let's try to check this out. Processing on device. Let's see if this is something magical that we can. Yeah, it's a little bit more like much more detailed. I can easily for the JPEG artifacts removal. I can easily use that. Yeah, something like that. Or let's combine three of them. I hope my machine would not blow and explode. So let's try to combine most of them, and then let's try if this would work. I guess not. So let's try to uncheck some of them, and let's go back to colorize. Okay. So explore these types of neural filters, and I think this one already crashed. This one crashed on me. Okay. Let's go select this one or close this one. I'm trying to load some of my images that I'm excited for all to you to see. Let's say, for example, I have this image, something. This one. Let's do this. Oh no, this one. I'm going to right click and open this. Open with Photoshop, and let's try to use the this one is a little bit low resolution on my eyes. So let's go and try to use the filter and then the neural filter and use what I've said already, which is super zoom. Let's try to click on that and zoom this in 2x and remove the JPEG artifacts. Let's dial in the noise reduction and sharpen it a little bit. Let's click on enhance face details. So what's it's doing right now, it's enabling and adding more details based from the image that I have brought up. So I think it's already mostly it's already no, it's still on it's still processing on my device right now. So I upscale this. Let's click on OK. So there's a subtle addition of elements or details here. Let's click on OK. So as you would see, this one is a little bit bigger, but the thing is, it has cropped my design. I haven't encountered that type of bug before, but I'll try to go do it again. Let's go back to neural filters. Wow, that's something. That's a big thing. I didn't know that if you are zoom in, it will already crop it here. Let's go back here and let's do this. Let's go and no, let's go back here. And I can do is sharpen this and enhance the face details and remove the JPEG artifacts. Can do this. Okay. Let's click on OK. And it has given me much more resolution on the image itself. So that's one thing that you can use, which is super zoom. Okay. So I think that's it for all of the neural filters that we have right now. There is a wait list on some of the new filters that's coming up, which is portrait generator, water long exposure, if you're into these types of photography, shadow generator, It enables you to generate shadows or even noise reduction, as you would see here. So if you want, you can easily sign up for these types of neural filters. For example, if I want, I can easily click on I'm interested because I'm part of this research in, let's click on cancel for this one. So that's neural filters, and I hope you learn something new, or you can try something new in the process by this using this types of filters inside the Photoshop. So for the last one, I'm going to focus now on the recent addition in the filter game. So let's go to filter, and this is what you call the parametric filters. So how can we use these types of filters? By the name itself, if I click on that, this is somehow similar to the filter gallery, but it's a newer, what we call this, a newer engine, because this is based from the parameters or the settings that you have input inside of the effect. Let's just wait because this one is a little bit okay. So as you would see here, I have applied the embroidery type of parametric filter. I can easily click on randomize. I can easily use the number of colors. If I want, I can easily like dial it down, like five of them, and I can easily add the density. For you to appreciate, I can easily like s- see. This one is like groundbreaking stuff. You can easily create something like this. Like you can also use the presets, or I can easily like add ultra here for the resolution. So you would see this one has enabled me to create like a embroidery type of image effect based on from my image. I can easily use some of the its style. Let's say like top stitch. You can easily do that, and by doing so, it's based from the actual uh, numbers or the parametric values that you input here. So let's try to like put on outline. Let's. I haven't tried this. Some of this. I think this one is much more, or even the first one, which is the fill. Okay, I can easily like adjust the thickness of this. Okay, so it makes me like similar to this. I can check for the design or the twirl or the actual implementation. I can also create a custom color for each one. Let's say let's make this a little bit more out of this world, like like an awkward green for this. So I think you get the idea. Um, and you can play with lots and lots of what we call parametric filters or parametric properties inside of this. So what I can do right now is go back to window and go to where's the parametric filter. This one is the parametric properties. I can easily like go back here on and undo this for us to explore other types of parametric filters that you can easily use. Let's go back to filter and go to parametric filters. And there's a lot of them as of the moment. You will see that you can easily use like an oil paint type of filter here. And this will enable you to also access the properties such as the resolution. Let's say this one is an all paint filter. If you're going to use this on the previous types of filter, it might give you a slow response. Unlike this one, it will give you a much more faster response time because it's based from the actual parameters that you have created, that you have suggested. So let's try to do something like this, like the scratch one. This one is also, you can easily create something like this using the scratch type of parameter. Okay. So if you're into like grunge types of design, you can easily do so. So this one is also non-destructive because right now, as you would see, this is inside what we call the smart filter group. You can enable and disable it anytime that you want, or adjust it by double clicking here. So you can easily like create another types of mode within the parametric filter. So even the parametric filter, you can dial in the actual blending mode within. Okay, so try to check these types of filters. I've given you the following, which is the legacy ones from the filter gallery, smart filters, the neural filters, and the much more awaited parametric filters. Another thing that I forgot probably is that there is also what we call the adjustment filters here. That is also pretty new inside of Photoshop. I'm just going to just close this and provide you a demonstration on this. So practically, you can easily. I'm just going to close the parametric property here. If you're into Photoshop, I think this one is on from 2024, 2025. If you want, you can update your Photoshop version, and you would see there is a new adjustments panel that has lots and lots of built-in presets that you can easily use. For example, here I can easily use like a brighter or a darker type of adjustment layer. Let's just wait for a little bit because I'm using a lot of layers here. Let's go and delete some of them. So yeah, what happened here is that it has an automated action that has given me the following recipe, well, as I call it. Every artwork in Photoshop has what we call recipes that you can easily check. And as you would see, it has run its thing. I'm just going to close this tab group, and you would see that it has created this. I'm just going to delete most of them so you could see this in action, and then unlock the background layer. Let's go back to window and then adjustments, and let's say use what we call color pop for the landscape. What happens again is that after doing that, it will enable me to invoke an action, because this is a lot of actions in the background. See, by just one click, you have created like four smart adjustment filters, as you would see here: color pop, vibrance to landscape color pop. I think I created two of them, or I've duplicated two of them, so as you would see here. Or you can use a single adjustments here. Let's just wait for a little bit. So this one is also the adjustment layers that you can access here. Yeah. So like posterize, invert, black and white, color balance. So if you are into presets, you can easily use the presets here. You can change the view if you want. You can easily use this, so you could get more idea of how does it work. Okay, so that is adjustments, some of the new things that will enable you to provide an effect or a filter inside of Photoshop. I'm going to go back in my slides here so you could we could check out some of the items that I forgot probably. So let's go back here. Again, go you can go and show all filter gallery groups and names that will enable you to create. And by doing so, I just want to highlight that sometimes the image that you load on Photoshop will be dependent on the type of filters that is available for use. For example, if I go to my image here and go to mode and click on 16-bit, 16-bit, as you would see here. If I use the 16-bit version here, if I go to filter, most of my filters. Oh, I think you cannot see it right now. Let's go back here. I forgot that I didn't add it on the stage. It's my bad. Let's click on that. Let's go back to Photoshop. And as you would see here, if I go to image and then go to mode and I enable 8 bits channel, this is the usual Photoshop types of filters that you have access to. Lots of them. But if you're using the 16-bit mode, if you go to filter, most of them are grayed out because if you're using 16-bit, uh, some of them are not available inside of some filters are not available. Okay, so that's it. Just keep in mind that if you want more flexible, if you want more filters to show up, you have to consider that your image should be on 8-bit channel. Okay, that's one thing. Let's go back here. As you would see, this is the 8-bit. On the left, this is the 8-bit selections, the choices that you have. But if you're on, this one is a 16-bit, right? 16-bit dito. And this one is the 8-bit. So lots of filters that is not being able to be used inside of the 16-bit. Again, we explore the filter gallery. As you would see, there's a lot of presets that you can use inside of Photoshop. And then I would like to ask you, what is your favorite filter or effect in Photoshop? So type it down on our chat box. Is there a specific recipe that you love in using Photoshop? Like a grunge effect, a crosshatch, watercolor, or mine for now is my favorite for now is using the neural filters because it's much more useful in the work that I do, like adjusting photo restorations, that sort of things. Okay, so again, using neural filters, it enables you to do a lot of things like skin smoothing, smart portrait, makeup transfer, backdrop creator, landscape viewer, style transfer, colorize, and even restoration. So you can easily do that. If you're into legacy ones, these are some of my recommendations that is highly being used, like Gaussian blur if you want to create this types of effect, lens blur, field blur, or tilt blur. That would be great. If you're into photography, that would be one of my suggestions. In terms of sharpening, you have to use what we call smart sharpen. If you access it on filter, sharpen, and then smart sharpen, that will be great for you to add more fine-tuned details on your images. And on sharp mask is about adding more edge into your designs, actual edge on your um, Photoshop document. In terms of stylized filters, I use the oil paint because let's go back here for you to check this out. I use these types of filter, which is the oil paint. Let's go back here. Filter. This is under. I think this one is already been repositioned. Let's go back. Oil paint. This is already under stylize and then oil paint. In my example, I'm just going to delete both of them so you could get an idea of how this works. Let's go to again. Let's go to filter and then go to. I haven't select the layer itself. That's why it's grayed out. Let's go to filter and then let's go to stylize and then let's go to oil paint. So after doing that, this will enable me to create something like this. You see, I can easily create like a oil style paint of this photo that I've generated, and you can easily create something like this, like filter type, oil paint type of effect. Okay, so that's one of my recommendations. If you want, you can also use this type of filter. If you go to filter, then noise, and then dust and scratches. This one is an old one, which is it enables you to restore any photo, like an old type old photo that you want to automate your process to remove the dust and scratches, that will be a great filter to use first, and then use the neural filter for restoration. So yun yung pinaka-process. Dust and scratches, and then the neural filter for restoration. Okay, so yeah. Let's go back here for us to finish this session and to wrap it up. Again, parametric filters gives you a lot of possibilities and playfulness and artistic decisions that you can easily explore. I'm just going to switch my view here. So I did provide you a demonstration. I'm now using the Photoshop beta version, which is available to all of you who are who are subscribed to Creative Cloud. So you can easily use the Photoshop beta version. So yeah, I think that wraps up all of my demonstration for this session. I hope you learned something new or explored things that you haven't learned before, and inspired you to check new things inside the Photoshop that has been there but not been aware. So thank you for listening in this session. Maraming salamat po. And if you have questions, feel free to put it on the chat box for us to answer if I have answers. If I can answer it, but if I cannot answer it, kung di ko siya masagot, okay lang because I'm going to research on it para may matutunan ako. Okay? So, thank you to our viewers, to our kanina 17, 18 yung nanonood sa atin. But as long as meron na doon nanonood sa atin, I'm more than glad to share. Thank you, Noreen, Abias, Rain Maglapos, and sila yung nag-shout out dito eh. So, for you na gustong kumuha ng certificate for this session, I'm just going to comment my email address here. creativenation.ph. Send me an email and I will be giving you, send me an email together with your name, and I will send you the e-certificate. Okay, ito yung aking email address. Yan. Feel free to email me so I can create the certificates for you, because most likely right now I'm just creating certificates for those who are already doing the live sessions with me. Okay, thank you, Noreen. I appreciate you being here in this session, and thank you for your comment. I highly appreciate your time for spending 1 hour with me here at the power of the power of filters in Adobe Photoshop. This has been Roland Banyas, and I'll see you again. I think later on. I'm just going to plug some things before I go right now. A little bit more time. Hi, Monda, for being here. Maraming salamat po. I hope you're safe. I hope you are uh, comfortable with right now, and together with family and also friends. And I have this. I'm going to have this session mamaya. Together with Dane Sign Learning Hub, which is happening in 8 o'clock. Mamayang 8 o'clock po. I'll be doing another live, which is now focusing on exploring animations in Adobe Express. So if you are into animations, text animations, element animations, like design animations, creating social media animations from the designs, feel free to watch this session dito sa Dane Design Learning Hub. I'm going to make this bigger so it would give more emphasis on this. Yan po. Go to Dane Design Learning Hub. I can give you the actual link. For example here, teka, hanapin ko lang muna para po sa ating lahat, para doon sa mga nanonood right now. And I want this to ano again, this is also again for free. Wala po kayong babayaran dito. I'm just going to search it right now para po sa inyong lahat. I don't have the actual link, but let's say, wait. Nasaan na nga ba yun? I'm just going to browse Danesign Learning Hub so you could see kung nasan yung link na yon. So, kita-kita po tayo mamaya 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. For exploring animations using Adobe Express. And I'm going to type in the link on the chat para hindi naman po kumain na masyadong maraming oras on your end. Ito na, nakita ko na pala. So here, I'm going to paste it here. Maraming salamat. Again, if you are interested to get the certificate for this session, check my comment, which is my email address. Nakita nyo ba yung email address ko? This is my email address. Just send me a message on that email and I will send you the e-certificate. Para mas mapabilis, put your authorized name, like yung gusto nyo lumabas dun sa certificate nyo pangalan, like full name, lagay nyo doon, and I will do my own magic to create and response to you kung ano yung certificate na makukuha nyo. Okay? So again, thank you for being here. I'm looking forward to see you all mamaya on 8 p.m. with Danesign Learning Hub together with our partners, Creative Nation Academy, Danesign Learning Hub, Likha na Dito, Jemory Bucalbos, and in partnership with the Multimedia Arts Association of the Philippines. We're planning more things in the process, and I hope you will be joining us. Thank you for your support. Stay safe, and God bless po. Bye, everyone. See you later. Ay, another thing. I have another session on August pa naman siya, pero you would see it on my social media. Okay? Bye!